Nice. Hi guys, welcome back to Two Moms, Too Much Coffee. This is Jashelle, and we have
Hey, it's Tempest.
Hey guys. Hi Tempest, how are you?
Hey, I am tired. As we said last time, it has not ended. We drove today and yesterday. We always go up for Labor Day weekend to the Fulton County Fair, to hang out with the grandparents. And so we drove up yesterday. The kids did great in the car, slept, stayed awake a little bit, and very minimal screaming, which was really good.
Mm.
I was very impressed with them. I'm like, okay, guys, be great. Thanks. But Sequoia's just still not sleeping. I don't know what it is. She is just, and like every single time I'm like, I don't want to give her any medicine because I don't want to be like, okay, you're awake and I'm gonna give you medicine. But
Mhm.
every time I give her medicine, like goes back to sleep in like 10
Mm.
minutes and then she stays asleep for hours. So I'm like, maybe it's growing pains. I don't like to say she's teething. I like to say growing pains because I've been burned by saying it's teething with Abel so many times that I was just like, we're not going to play this game.
Yeah.
It's never teething. But she does get bigger. So it's just growing pains. Her little bones hurt.
Yeah, she's just feeling it. She's feeling it all. I feel you on being tired because I don't know. Naya is like going back and forth. Like she slept through the night a few nights in a row, but then last night she went back to just like she slept great for like 3 to 4 hours straight, and then from there, she, like, woke up a couple times, so, I
Mm.
don't really know, it's like I think I have mentioned this before, like, I still don't just lay my head down on the pillow and think, "I'm gonna sleep through the night tonight." It's always like, "Hmm, will she sleep through the night? Will I wake up 5,000 times tonight?" I just don't know, and I think that alone makes me exhausted, but I'm really
Mhm.
I'm very tired.
Yep, I feel it. Well, but some fun news. um, so we are at the fair today, and Abel went on his first roller coaster.
Oh,
Like,
how was
and it was
that?
a fair ride, which I have
Mhm.
always said my kids are never getting on fair rides. And here I am like, oh, he wants to get on it.
I feel that. I don't get off the
Yeah. But it was just like one of those little it just goes around in a circle. He wasn't like being flipped around or anything. And so it was just like a little tiny little roller coaster, one track roller coaster. And he was terrified. It was, we were like, it's so fun. And he's like, terrified. And we're like, oh, you had so much fun afterwards, didn't you? And he's like, he was like, no, I did not. He's like, I didn't like, so we're just trying to like, just gotta fake him out forever. Like, you liked it, right? You don't. It was so much fun. So that way he's not like, I hate roller coasters. Manipulate that little brain.
Oh, that's so exciting. Did you get lots of pictures?
Yes, yeah. We also do home videos, and so we have a whole home video of him riding around a roller coaster, which it's always so funny to me with our home videos because they feel so silly, being like, we're just, doing life. Like, why do you have a camera in my face? But we've now been doing them since Abel is like, I don't know, 6 months maybe. Yeah, because our nanny was the one that suggested the camera. So he like 6 or 7 months, so we got the camera. And we just love them. We'll watch it like our own reality TV. Like, it's so great to just go back and just kinda see where everybody's at. It's incredible how much Abel grows. Like, it's so fast. You just look back and you're like, "How did he get so big?" Like,
Mhm.
I don't remember him being that small, and it's really cute. So, I'm happy we do it. But, yeah, so we got a recording where we're gonna try and be like, "Look, you're having fun," even though you can clearly see
He's like,
he's not having fun. Yeah.
what made you guys go with camera versus phone? Is it just, like, storage-wise? It's just, like, nice to have everything in its separate little space?
Yeah, it definitely is a storage thing as well because with Apple, because I have an iPhone, so with Apple, we do shared albums where I don't wanna give away the secret because I feel like everybody's gonna do it, and then Apple's gonna take it away from us, but for some reason, you can do a shared
So
album
many
with a
people
un
listening to this
I
right now?
know, the 50,000 people that listen and download. But so you can do a shared album and you can put 5,000 videos and pictures in a shared album, unlimited storage, and share it with whoever you want. And I don't know why, but we've been doing 3 years now because Abel's about to turn 3 years of it, and we just put every single picture and we share it with anybody that has an iPhone that's in our family has access to the shared album, and you can, like, comment, it's like your own little social media for your kid without sharing it online, and it's so weird to me that Apple just is like, "Yeah, well, you can use as much as you want." And then we have an album from Abel, we have an album for Sequoia, and
Oh, I did not know.
I'm not answering your question. Sorry, I just, like, went on a tangent, but it's so weird that that happens. But we did decide to go with, like, an actual camera, um, because we wanna have it, like, it have a function, if that makes sense. So we wanna make sure that, like, "Hey, we have the camera out, this camera specifically to make really nice home videos." And storage is much cheaper if you have a storage card. And so we just have, like, SD cards.
Yeah, that's smart. We might
Yeah.
have to that.
Yeah,
I
we got
like
SD cards, and then we put everything on YouTube as well, so it's actually public if
yeah,
anybody wants to look.
watching I think when I came for his birthday, I was watching
Yeah,
a video of the
probably
birthday that happened the day
so
before.
right, exactly, it's probably, like, the year because we always when we have, like, events, we'll put the year prior on, and then,
Yeah,
"Don't you wanna watch us?"
great.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Naya, this is like it's not a huge deal, but it was just cute. She played with bubbles for the first time and was just like,
Aw.
Mom got her this bubble machine. It's like a little flower. And I thought the bubbles were going to come out like very smooth, but they just were like, it was like snowing bubbles. It was so many bubbles. And she literally just was, like, staring at them, and she's, like, waving her little hand, and it was so cute.
Aw.
So that was really, really exciting. Just, like, the little things that just seeing them, like, see things for the first time ever, like, she's like, "What is this?"
Yes.
But she had this weird moment today where she, like I don't know if it's because I was, like, washing my face and I had, like, my little headband on, and I don't know if she's just never seen it, but she looked at me, stared me in the eyes, and then she broke out in hysterics. Has that ever happened to you?
No. No, but, I mean,
Hysterics.
obviously, kids will do the craziest things for sure, but I wonder why. Maybe you just look different and she got scared.
Literally for 10 minutes, she just screamed until I started the bubbles, and then she stopped crying when she saw the bubbles, so I'm like, "Okay, I'm glad that you love them, but it's never happened." I was literally Googling, like, Reddit. Baby looked at me and cried, like, I was just I don't know, I'm, like, still bothered by it because 'cause I'm like, "Oh my gosh, she looked at my face and cried. I'm your mommy, you're not supposed to do that." So I'm, like, still,
Mhm.
like, thinking about it because it was literally, like, 45 minutes ago. I'm like, "Is that
Oh.
normal? Did something happen?" I don't know. Very odd.
Yeah. That's definitely odd, but I'm telling you, these kids, they keep you on your toes. It's like they're like, "What can I do different today to make you freak out?"
Not like a random crier. She's very chill. So, like, if she's crying, she's hungry, she's sleepy. I don't know.
Mhm.
So, whatever. But nothing
Well,
really crazy on my end that's happened that's new. So,
I'm glad the bubbles made her happy, and it is so cute. See the life through your kid's eyes is so fun.
it is.
Because I look at bubbles and I'm kind of annoyed by them. I'm like, why are they in my face? And so, but with kids, you're like, oh, they love them. Look how cute it is.
I love them. Yeah.
Yeah,
That'll be our new little thing.
good. I love that.
So, what are we
So,
about?
yeah, today I thought it would be really nice for us to just talk about allergens because it's basically the bulk of our text messages these days.
Yes.
And it consumes me because of my slight anxiety about allergens. And so I thought it'd be fun to just, talk about it, talk about our shared anxiety with them, talk about how we're introducing them, how it's been going, etc.
Yes, I like it. That's fun. It's a good one too, because I did not know that allergens were such a big deal coming into motherhood, first of all. And second of all, like, I feel like, I don't know if I mean, because research shows like the earlier the exposure, but even my sister, she's like, I don't remember doing this, like this being like, he just ate what he ate. And then that was it. And I'm like, yeah, I'm sure it's a lot, different now, but I had no idea it was such like a big part. of introducing solids. So I'm
Mhm.
excited to talk about this one.
It is really interesting because I was talking to my dad about allergens too, and he's like, people back in the day didn't have like nut allergies. He was like, you would just have like they'd be walking down the street with like sugar peanuts and being like, "Get your peanuts!" Like I was like, which sounds like a fake, but apparently, like he's like, that's what everybody snacked on. He's like, so people like were just so exposed to all these allergies that like or allergens that there was just less of them. And so I don't know if that's scientific at all, but that's just
Right.
what he said. And it is interesting because now I wonder if the fact that we're so aware of allergens, if that is making people less likely to give them and more likely to develop an allergy because of the less likelihood of giving them because it's prevalent,
Yeah.
which again, don't know if scientific. I'm just thinking.
Just speaking. Yeah.
So it's really interesting, but, agreed. I before motherhood, I had no idea that people gave a shit so much about allergens, and then all of a sudden, like, you open a book and they're like, "Oh, your kid could break out in hives. If you don't introduce peanuts at 4 months, there's a higher likelihood of them developing a peanut allergy, even if you don't have one." And you're just like,
What? Yeah.
"Seriously?"
Yeah. I thought it was just, purees versus baby led weenie, like, and then it's like, "No, pick that, and then also decide how you're gonna do your allergens," but, like, you have to decide what order you wanna do your allergens, and, "Oh, does your kid have eczema?" Because then that just is a whole other layer in there. So, I felt like I was not prepared for that, but luckily I had you while talk me through it.
Yes. Yes. So, yeah, let's talk about how we're introducing them to allergens. Uh, I do know I did it a little bit differently with Abel than I'm doing with Sequoia. With Abel, I gave him the actual food allergen.
Mm,
And with Sequoia, I'm doing a mix-in that, well, I'm is in quotes. We'll get to that. But we're doing mix-ins instead of doing the actual food. And with Abel, so we gave like, peanut butter mixed in with some breast milk and just gave it, one little bite at a time and just to see if he was allergic to anything. And he was not, luckily, allergic to
mhm.
any peanuts. And we had gone through most of the nuts. And I actually did some pouches that had the allergen in it.
Okay.
Um, because I couldn't find like, I don't know, some of them are hard. So like I
Mhm.
don't really eat fish and so I went and did, a pouch of salmon, which is sounds disgusting, but,
Hmm.
they have, like, the meat pouches, and there was a salmon one, so I was like, "Well, I'll just do salmon," and I gave it to him that way, and he hated it, but he hates food, and it was disgusting, but he was not allergic, which is great.
It's
And
good.
then, yeah, I did scrambled eggs with him one time. He ate it, it's totally fine. Did scrambled eggs with him a second time, and he broke out in hives all over his face, and every part that the scrambled egg touched his body, there was, like, a red bump, which was scary, but the good thing is that eggs and soy and milk of the top 3 are normally if they are allergic, they grow out of those ones.
Mm.
And so I was really hopeful that he'd grow out of it, and it ended up that we started giving him baked goods with eggs in it, at, like, 18 months, and then now he doesn't like eggs, he doesn't eat them very often, but doesn't like I said, doesn't really eat anything, but he can at least have them now, and he's
That's
not allergic, which is great.
Yeah. Egg's a big one, I feel like, to be allergic to. That's a hard one. So I'm glad
Mhm.
that's not a problem anymore.
Yes. Yeah, so how is introduction going with you?
Yeah, so I feel like for us it's a little bit harder. So I'm not doing the food item, but I'm doing the little mix-ins. And it's harder because you give that allergen, but you need to make sure that you give it in enough time that you can observe them all day long. So obviously don't give it to them right before they go to bed. And then you give them ideally one allergen every like 3 days, 2 to 3 days, whatever. It's hard for us because she's in daycare. So by the time she gets home from daycare, I don't want to give her an allergen because it's too close to bedtime for my comfort. And so then that leaves us only to the weekends, and if you're doing that every 2 to 3 days, we're literally only getting 1 allergen a week. So, it's been hard to get them all in because they say, like, "Oh, introduce them around 4 months," but I didn't start doing solids until 6 months. I know you could mix it in things, but I didn't start doing that. So, I felt like we were behind, but now I'm feeling a little bit better. So, we have done them in the purees, and so far it's been good. So, we've done, oh goodness, cashews, peanuts, which I was really nervous about because for those who do not know, if your child has eczema, you have a higher risk of them being allergic to peanuts in specific. And then I think eggs is another one. But so we also had to wait for the pediatrician. That was another thing. We waited till her 6 month appointment to just kind of talk to them, and she just was kinda like, "Oh, yeah, like, we can do a blood test to make sure, but, like, you're not gonna get that much out of it because she hasn't been exposed to very much, and it's a blood test, so if you really wanna do that," and I didn't wanna do a blood test, so, luckily it was fine. So we've done cashews, peanuts, walnuts, and egg, I believe? I feel like I'm missing something else. Yeah, so far we did eggs this weekend, and I was really nervous about eggs because I had stopped eating eggs because I was feeling like it was maybe been a trigger for eczema. I haven't really noticed a difference, but I was like, "You know what? Let's just try eggs and just, like, get that one done." And I think I felt better since she had been doing better with the other ones, but obviously I also don't wanna get too comfortable, and so far so good. However, it was
Good.
just what this was trial number 2. So we have 1 more. We're gonna do 1 more, and then we'll switch. So that's been good, going the new introductions, and then another thing that I've had to kind of catch myself on was that I was introducing them and then switching that next weekend, but I was not doing great at continuing that introduction during the week because, again, daycare. But I was like, "She's doing great during the 3 days in a row that I'm doing it, so I might as well just continue to introduce it during the week." So we've been trying to, like, do that here and there. And so far, so good. So it's very stressful though, like that first bite going into her mouth. I literally am just like staring at her and she's just like,
Mhm.
no, like rubbing it on her face. And I'm just like, are you okay? Are you breathing? Like, what am I gonna do? That's also the thing. Like, what do you do? Like,
Yep.
God forbid you go into anaphylactic shock, which is not that common that first trial, but still, God forbid you do, and then, like, what now? So,
Yeah.
yeah. But, yeah, that's how we've been doing it so far.
Yeah, for sure. I heavy on the what would you do, and I think that's like half the battle. I've seen a lot of people online talk about they will give allergens like in the parking lot of an ER,
Mhm,
of a children's ER. And I haven't gotten there yet. I've read a lot about allergens because I have a lot of anxiety with
mhm,
allergens. And basically it's really, 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 really uncommon for a baby to go on anaphylactic shock from allergens. They will react, like, I mean, obviously, some of them can react, and but it's just likely not to be life threatening which is great. And I'm like, okay, cool. At least you're not gonna die, because that wouldn't be great. And so, makes me really nervous though. And so I haven't gotten to the ER portion, but I've gotten to a um I like to tell people that in the world of fight or flight, or freeze, because apparently that's one of them, I am a freeze.
mhm,
And,
yeah,
I would think I was a fight, and I am not. I'm a freeze, and so if something does happen, I'm sure I'd be like, "I have no idea what to do," and, that stresses me out. So but so far so good as well. We did give soy, and she threw up a little bit, but she does not crawl normally. She still army crawls, and so she's, like, pushing on her stomach, so she got it's basically like applesauce and soy, and then, like, threw up a little bit. And so, to me, I'm like, soy is easy enough to avoid for right now, and so we're gonna try that again in a couple months. But everything else, no reaction, which is very exciting. I think we've done everything now except for fish.
yeah. Wow, you guys have
Yeah,
done a lot. I
yeah.
still don't know how I'm gonna do fish. I know we have soy left and almonds and then fish, and I was, like, actually watching videos today because 'cause we're not doing baby led weaning, and everything is baby led weaning when I look at TikTok. which is
Yeah.
fine if that's what you're doing, but, like, I so far for baby led weaning, I've done a banana and some, piece of watermelon. That's as far as I've gone, and I had anxiety the whole time. But they're like fish cakes, and I'm like, "That
Mhm.
looks like a great idea." Or it's like they're cutting the shrimp up and then they're picking it up, but I'm just like, "I don't know if I can do that." So then you mentioned the salmon packet. It does sound gross, but it might be the
Yeah.
option.
It's available
But
for sure.
yeah, it might just do it. I mean, I pureed everything else, but I am not pureeing salmon.
I was gonna say, what about wait, maybe just do, like, canned tuna and then, like, do a food processor.
Yeah, I could probably do that too. Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
have to play around because I know I'm not doing a fish cake. I
Yeah.
knowing Naya, yeah, I'm not doing a fish cake. But I need to
It
do
is.
that.
It is actually really funny to see now us the difference between us with our food because I was, like, very similar to you with Abel. I was very nervous about, choking and everything, which is understandable. It's super scary, and I think now I moved past where Adam is. Adam's like, "Do you maybe she's, like, kinda getting red." Like, I'm like, "She's fine," because she's, like, gagging on it and trying to, like, figure it out. And today I'm sitting here we're at the fair, and we have french fries, and she's grabbing at it because she is a hungry girl.
Mhm.
And so I have her in the carrier, and I just give her french fries, and she's just eating french fries while she's in the carrier. And I'm like, I am certainly not a new mom anymore because I would have never been able. I'd have been like, he needs to be in a high chair, sitting up straight so he doesn't choke. And I'm over here like,
There you go.
you want a French fry at the fair?
I dream to be there soon because I feel like I know I'm not limiting her. I do know that. Like,
No,
logically, I know I'm not limiting her, but in my head, I'm like, "We could try so many things," like, but I just don't want to do it, but I just we'll get there one day to just
yeah, you get there
suck
one day, and honestly, like she's doing great, and you're a whole OT, so the only reason why is just to like work on coordination, and you're
Mhm.
doing that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It's just yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. I'm actually not in a rush, honestly. I'm like, "We're okay." And we are pretty much done with like our single purees, and I'm just gonna start like mixing them more. And doing like I haven't done like oatmeals or yogurts or anything like that. So eventually we'll get to that, but
yeah.
slowly but surely. But allergens have been they're just stressful.
They are
Like
so stressful.
I didn't even it's just that's the funny thing too. Like I I don't remember my sister ever doing this or like any of my friends ever talking about allergens. I don't know if people just, like, they do them and then they, like, are done with it and they just black it out because 'cause they're like, "Okay, I'm done with that stressful part of motherhood, and I don't wanna think about it ever again," because I just a lot of my friends who have kids, I haven't heard their, like, experience besides, like, your experience, so, yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually curious if it's like a ignorance is bliss kind of thing. I I overconsume information and it makes me more anxious, and I know that about myself, so, like, I will be, like, on Reddit looking it up, and then I'll be on
Mhm.
TikTok looking it up, and then I'll be, like, looking at scientific papers and looking at websites on, parenting books and stuff, and they'll all be talking about it, and so now I'm, like, hyper aware of, like, what could happen when I know that I have friends that, like, don't read any parenting books and, kinda just, like, wing a lot of stuff, and I wonder
Yeah,
if that's why, they're just like, "Oh,
yeah,
I didn't even know that I was supposed to be worried about this." And good on them because then they're not worried and nothing's
right,
wrong and, like, it
and
works
everything
for them.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Um,
Yeah.
interested though, Sequoia with the allergens, um, just in general, was soy the biggest one you were worried about, or were you really stressed about eggs because of Abel?
Yeah, so I'm not worried about soy and milk because I had already stopped eating dairy, with her, and it made her she was pooping like 8 times a day. Like, she was pooping so much, and then it went down to, like, 1 a day. So I know she had some sort of issues with dairy,
Mhm.
and I drink soy milk with my lattes every day, and so it's possible that that was bothering her too. I really don't know. It didn't seem like it was. She's, like, always a very content baby. But with Abel, when we stopped breastfeeding and moved to formula, we moved to a soy formula and his whole face broke out. Like
Mhm.
it wasn't like a breakout where everything's red. It was just like bumps all over. So it was like flesh colored bumps all over his
Uh,
face. And I was like, this isn't normal. And everybody else is like, oh, it's fine. Babies, skin, babies and skin. I'm like, no, I don't agree with that. Something's happening that he's consuming. So we switched to a soy free formula and everything went away.
mm,
And so he had some sort of soy intolerance as well. And I'm not over here eating tofu every day. So it's a very easy thing to avoid for an infant. And so for me, I'm like, I didn't even think twice about Abel having a soy intolerance or dairy intolerance. And by one, when we did introduce soy stuff again, and he didn't have any issues. So for me, even though Sequoia clearly did react, I'm okay with, like, just waiting it out. So I'm
yeah.
not too worried about that one. Eggs, definitely, because not only did Abel so her brother had an egg allergy, her cousin on both sides of the family, so Adam's side and my side, had an allergy, um, and his cousin on my side also had a tree nut allergy. And so I'm like, there's allergens floating around in this family for sure that I who knows with me, but I got stuff going on when it comes to allergies too. And so it makes me really nervous with eggs because one, it's really annoying to like get egg free stuff. Like I feel like nut free is easy because like
'Cause
everybody's hyper aware of nuts.
yeah.
But eggs is like they're just like, well, we have a couple alternatives and they're not always great. And you have to it's like very much you have to like look at every single label, and we had to do it for over a year with Abel to, like, make sure that there's no eggs in the product, and for me, I eat scrambled eggs every day. Scrambled
Mhm.
eggs are like an omelet every single day, so it's, like, even harder where I'm like, "Well, what do you give someone that's allergic to eggs for breakfast?"
I know.
Like,
My
it
struggle
is
of myself right now. I'm like,
Mhm.
my breakfast has been so boring because I too eat eggs every day and now I'm not because of Naya. So I get that.
Yeah.
I'm like, bagel, I guess? Like, okay.
Exactly. Yeah, we've been doing Greek yogurt and, peanut butter toast
Mm-hmm.
with Abel,
Yeah.
and that's kind of been his breakfast for a long time. And it's filling and it works, but it definitely was like that like I had to like adjust and I had to like find like pancake and waffle mix that didn't have eggs in it and which is there's just a lot of stuff that you just don't even think have eggs that it does. So I was really worried about that one, but she seems good. She's had it twice so far and quite a lot of it and seems like she's good. And so hopefully it stays that way. And I know it's very unlikely for infants to be allergic to fish and shellfish. It's an adult allergy, apparently. Same with sesame. It's an adult allergy. So hopefully those ones go well too when I do
Yeah.
introduce those.
Yeah. I think that we have that one left too. Sesame, soy, almond, and shellfish are ours that are left, which sounds like so many. But that's also what I've stopped freaking out about because they're like, what is the time range temperature? It's like 6 to 8 months, 4 to 8 months. I don't know. But I'm like,
Hmm.
okay, I'm not she's not gonna turn 8 months and then the cutoff happened, and then now she's gonna be allergic to everything because I didn't give it to her by September 16th. So I'm like, "You know what? When she gets them, she will get them. It's better than not doing them at all, and we're just gonna keep exposing it to her, and it's gonna be fine." And I had to, like, talk myself out of that because I was getting a lot of anxiety about, like, just getting them done if I'm, like, doing her an injustice because 'cause I'm not doing them on the week, but
Right.
okay. She's gonna be fine. So, 4 more to
Yes. We got it. We got it. Like these kids will be allergy free, or at least we will know.
but really, the goal is allergy free, but it's fine.
Yes. Yep.
So
All
how is it,
right.
like, just in general, I mean, are you doing the allergens? Adam doing the allergens?
Oh,
How's it
right,
looking?
right, right. Yeah, so because I have had so much anxiety with allergens with Abel to begin with, I was like, it was at a point where I was like, he's not going to get it. If I don't do it, he's not going to get it because I just like couldn't bring myself to do it. And like I
Yeah,
said, it's a huge anxiety for me for whatever reason. It's like one of the hardest anxieties I've ever had. And I likely could probably be put on some pills for it if I went to the doctor, but I'm like, situational anxiety to me,
Mm.
so I'm like, I don't wanna be put on pills for something that I it's gonna go away once the allergens are done, and so I don't wanna just, take a Lex what is it, lorazepam? Is that what they took on?
Like,
Yeah, so I don't I don't wanna do that for, a month, basically. And so, I with Abel, after we did it with Abel and we were all through him, I told Adam, I was like, "I need you to do the allergens for Sequoia or for, our next kid." I was like, "I cannot do it. It's a block. I don't wanna do it. It's the worst." And so he said he'd do it with a little bit of coaxing. He is now doing it, and it is going all right. Like, he's not doing it the way that I would do it, but I am, as you know, it's a lot of anxiety. So it'd be a very anxiety decision for how I would be
mhm,
doing it. And it'd be very, very slow. And I would, be analyzing poop and it'd be bad. So
mhm.
he's doing it and we're getting through and it's good. So,
Speaking of poop, which sorry to interrupt you. No one told me that blueberries cause black poop.
oh, didn't know that.
Yep. For everyone that wants to know, eat your child blueberry. And I literally pooped black. I was like, "Oh my god!" Like, Google it, like baby pooping black, like number 3. Like, if your baby had blueberries, then it's fine. Literally black poop. But okay. Anyway, back to what you're saying. Yeah, I think it is like the fact that you're very aware that like he's gonna need to do it his way, or I'm gonna have to do it my way, which is just probably gonna be worse because it's gonna be more anxiety inducing. That's just hard in general, but it makes sense to just kind of like pass the baton on over to the.
Yes. And especially it's, like, exceptionally hard for me because I'm like, I can do anything. Like, it's
Mhm,
probably, to a fault, but I'm just like, "I could do anything. I don't need any help whatsoever." And so the fact that I do need help on this is, like, really telling. That I'm like, "I need somebody to do this for me because I it won't work. It won't work. I will be in a corner crying about how I cannot do it," and no one wants to see that.
yeah, that does say a lot though, because literally from my whole entire life knowing you, you were like one of the most independent of my friends. That
Mhm.
literally from 6th grade, you're like, "I can do it. We don't need our parents to do this. We can do it." I'm like, "We need mom and dad to do this. What do you mean?" But then to, like, for you to have to, like, ask for help, that, like, shows that, like, you're like, I need help. I need
Mhm.
help." And what we
Yeah,
talked about that on one of the other podcasts, like, asking for help is one of the hardest things, but one of the most important things you can do as a mom. So, kudos for you.
exactly. Thank you. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
I don't feel good about it, but at least I got it done.
So, baby steps. Baby
Yeah.
steps.
Yes.
Uh
So are there anything else about allergens that you wanna chat about?
I don't think so. Just I think mamas whenever you feel comfortable. Just
Yes.
that's the most important thing, whenever you feel
Yes.
comfortable.
Exactly. Our kids will live.
Yeah, probably.
All right. Well, I'm gonna be well, let's see. Be transparent. We looked for a Reddit unsolicited advice on this, and every question was the questions that we had that we already talked about. How do you introduce them? And are you super anxious? And how are you doing this? And how often are you doing it? And we really don't have the answers either. So we'd be terrible to give the unsolicited advice to all of that with allergens. So we don't have one today.
Yeah. I but if you do have advice after you listen to this and you think there's something that could have helped us or whatever it is, please feel free to comment on any of our pages.
Yes. All righty. Well, thank you everybody for listening today, and I hope you have a great week.
Bye, guys.